You've become prisoners of war. Now, could you tell us something about the doctors? Just a little pen picture of the doctors who were captured, and the two chaplains.
The two chaplains. I have a book here, that Jeff Tyson's book about.
It's there, is it?
It's that green thing, Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Now, the Sapa Bazaar and other remnants by Jeff Tyson. He was in the 2nd 40th Battalion, and that is actually that part of the island where we were.
Isn't that brilliant?
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that shows that ring road.
Yes.
And there's Jamplong, and we needed to be up there. So what was the question?
Well, we started to look at you were just going to talk about the two chaplains first of all, and then about the doctors.
That's right. Now, in that book, Jeff Tyson's done sketches of the two chapels. There was the Tockage Chapel, which Binderman was responsible for, and the Roman Catholic Chapel where Crocodile Bill Kennedy. That was funny. As I say, we were guarded by combatant troops with whom we had fought, and there was a mutual respect between people at the bottom. They had a great respect for a number of things. One was the dead, and they didn't care too much about the dying, but when you were dead, if you died in the service of your emperor or country, you went up two grades. So, and in that Tyson set of sketches, there are graves that people who were killed and who died were buried, and they would allow us to put the cross tombstones. They would allow religious activity, and even with the Korean guards later, if you made this sort of sign and pointed to the prayer satchel on their belts, they were quite respectful. So as I say, they respected the dead, they respected religion, they respected, within my experience of them, genitalia. So you could put all sorts of things in those fanduccis, and I think they probably just thought that we were well built.
That might have been true too.
So we did have two padres. One of them I won't distinguish. One of them was held in much higher respect than the other. I always went out on working parties for a number of reasons. Kupang was made a hell of a mess of, and there was a lot of cleaning up to do. And having been initiated to rum, in one of the places we found a great crate of Foster's export lager, and we'd go out. The Japs would drive us in the truck. The officer would sit in the front seat with the driver, Japanese driver, and the troops in the back. Come back half checkered, you know, and they didn't know where this was coming from. And one day I was whistling an operetta. It's called Captain Craddock. You ever heard of it?
No, I haven't.
No. Nobody has. As the junior officer in the mess at Fort Largs, you know, Mr. Weiss, I was responsible for getting music and all that stuff. And we had this long playing, not long playing, old 78 record, Le Capitaine Craddock. Now I can't whistle it for you now, I've forgotten it. But anyway, I was whistling this, and this corporal driving the cap.
Now we've dealt with that phone call, and I wonder if you're in a position to comment about The doctors who you got to know, Les Poitevin, Max Brown, did you get to know him?
Yeah.
And Doug Gillis?
Yeah.
Or Gillies?
Yeah. Well, I just finished with the Padres and the
Yes.
and the chapels.
Yes.
So the Japanese allowed us to build chapels, and this is Crocodile Bill Kennedy's chapel, I think. The other one was the Tok H chapel.
Yes.
Kennedy was very short, and he was held in high regard by all sorts of denominations. He was a larrikin. Larrikins are popular in the army. The doctors. Yes, there was Les Poitevin and Max Brown and Doug Gillies. I knew them all, and as a matter of fact, when we left Timor, we had to walk from Asapa Bazaar to the docks, and were put on lighters to get onto the Dainichi Maru. And I walked alongside Doug Gillies, and we both agreed that if they took us off the island, it would be at least 3 years before we could be released. And yet there were so many people who the Japs are going to give in, and the Americans are coming, and they could only survive by looking forward a couple of 3 months or something. But that was never my view. If they took us off the island, anyway. It was exactly 3 years to the day before I was released in Batavia by Edwina Mountbatten. They were superb. In fact, all the doctors within my experience were superb. There was a Dutch doctor there too. In fact, he knew more about tropical conditions than all of our doctors put together.
What was his name? Henry Hecking, was it? Was it Hecking?
Hecking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Have you had the sharp spoon if you paraded before him with a tropical ulcer? He had a disgusting saying, every day in every way I'm getting better, better, better. But he was a fine fellow, and I believe he did very well on the railway.
Were you aware that his wife and children were captured as well?
Yeah, I never met him, but I knew from other officers of ours who had visited him in his house.
Mm.
In fact, somewhere or other I got a photograph of the family, so I was aware. I don't know what happened to them, whether they were repatriated to Java or no, I don't. Yeah.
Now, what about some of the medical orderlies? Did you know Les Poitevin's #1 man, Bert Adams?
Yes, I did, and Evan Fuller.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, I've got a set of photographs here that Evan Fuller took with X-ray film, surreptitiously, of course,
mm-hmm.
showing the hospital and what we call the charnel house, where they gouged ulcers and things. As I say, we and the combatant Japanese held each other in quite high regard.
So how would you describe your life whilst you were still on Timor? Were you short of food, or did you have enough food?
Well, because they were combatant troops, we were put on their Japanese army rations, and although it was adequate in bulk, our metabolism would not let us cope, and scurvy was the condition we got in Timor. We also got malaria and dysentery. On the uniforms we had short sleeves and short, ridiculous by comparison with the Japs. Japs had long sleeves, long pants. Mm. So we quick and lively got malaria, both the malignant tertian and the benign tertian. I'm not sure why they're called that, because the benign tertian is the one that recurs about every fortnight. Mm-hmm. Malignant, you have to get reinfected. We had